G'day, folks. Day 7.1 is arrived. Arms guide. The try and get my mic to stop making that weird noise. Um, Arms hasn't changed at all. It's exactly the same. No buffs, no balances, no nerfs, no nothing. So I'll quickly go over this. If you haven't seen my other arms guide, if you have seen my other arms guide, you know what to expect right here. Nothing has changed. A quick comment between Fury and Arms. If you've seen the Fury guide on my channel, the difference between Fury and Arms, yes, has shrunk somewhat, but Arms, in my opinion, and in my testing and my playing, Arms is still pulling more damage single target. And if you are legendarily enhanced with J. If you're legendarily enhanced with either Archivon's Heavy Hand or that one, Ayala's Stoneheart, you're going to be doing... That gap is going to grow between Fury and Arms. Because both of these hugely affect your Arms DPS potential, your Arms DPS potential. RNG can always come and ruin your day, but these help hugely. So... And I'm always talking about single target, I'm not talking about AoE for the most part. Burst AoE for Arms is very solid, but then sustained AoE, you forget about it. Fury is going to be your choice for that sort of stuff. Anyway, I need to get to the rotation of this because the rotation bit is very in-depth and it hurts people's brains. Hurts mine sometimes as well, but I've been playing it enough that, and I've thought enough about it, and that's what you need to do when playing an Arms Warrior. You really need to think why you're doing what you're doing to get the most DPS out of it. Anyway, so quickly, gear and trinkets, mastery. Mastery increases the damage of your Colossus Smash and the Colossus Smash debuff on the target. So it's all mastery, ladies and gentlemen. How do you get so much mastery? People sometimes ask. I don't have legendaries, so I'm not at the mercy of the stats that are on the legendaries. Some of the legendaries don't have mastery, which is a bit frustrating. But all my gear is mastery. In particular, the dual crafting deck. Get that if you're going to play Arms. There's a World Drop Suramar ring. Again, look at that. Look at all that mastery. Tasty. And everything else is just mastery heavy. It's a crappy spontaneous appendages, so this could be higher. And just an 850 world stat stick. My Arms weapon is like this. If you don't have Shattered Defense or Exploit the Weakness, perhaps if your warrior's your ult or something like that, if you don't have these two abilities, you're not there in your artifact weapon yet, go play Fury. You'll do more damage, and it'll be way more fun. Once you've got these two though, Arms is going to probably do better for you. And once you've got Corrupted Blood of Zakaj, it's all uphill, downhill, uphill. Yeah, it's a hill. Relics, all my relics. I've done so much Ivajar and I can't get a better one of this. Son of a bitch. 865 here, which is okay. Needs to be higher. And an 870 execute. So death blow one. So my Arms relics are not great. 890. A Fury weapon is higher. I'm working on getting the extra rage pool here, which I will do. My Fury weapon is slightly higher than my Arms weapon now because I sort of put more attention into that, because this spec without legendary gloves or ring is really testing my patience. So I stopped for a while. It still does better. So that's the gear out of the way. Talents, this is what you'll be playing with. Again, no legendaries, so there's not really any negotiation here. You need Dauntless for the cheaper rage. Now, even though this is making things cost less, you're still getting the full rage costs when you're talking about Tactician. So if a Mortal Strike costs 20 rage, but Dauntless is reducing it to 16 rage, you're still getting 20 rage when you're calculating Tactician. So you're still getting 20 rage times by 0.75% chance to reset Colossus Smash and Mortal Strike. Yeah, makes sense. And that's all. This is what Arms is all about. spending rage to reset your main focus, which is Colossus Smash, and continue to bring the pain. This is what all of this is about. My Colossus Smash right now is doing that much damage and increasing all damage I do to the target by 117%. That'll scale based on how much mastery you have. People will talk about haste breakpoints and things like that, like around 20% haste. You can fit extra abilities into your battle cry window or your Colossus Smash window, but you're sacrificing so much mastery in my opinion that it's not worth going for. And when you sort of take into account latency, 23 ms, you better have really good latency if you intend on trying to fit these things in. You're trying to cut the haste breakpoints. In reality, you'll be needing more haste than 20% to be able to fit more things in. And then again, you're sacrificing more mastery. Anyway, I just don't want to carry on too much because the rotation part of this video is going to take a while. That's that. So everything you do that costs rage is going to have a chance to reset this, yeah? Simple. There's the actual mastery description. So Colossus Smash does 102% more damage, the actual Colossus Smash ability, and it increases the damage I deal to the target. So there you go. All of this other stuff is pretty cookie cutter. You can take Shockwave if you're playing Arms in Mythic Plus. I play Fury in Mythic Plus, but you can play Arms if you've got mad AoEs and they don't need your AoE. And you're just there for the single target. You can take Shockwave to try and lay down some CC. It's pretty handy. Avatar, Fervor of Battle. If you've got the legendary Waste, then maybe this will come into it. The more damage you deal from Whirlwind, but I take Avatar. Burst windows are everything, so Avatar's the way to go. Bounding Strides for more leaps. Defensive stance, second wind. You can read all this stuff for yourself, and you can decide what you want to do. The main one is Focus Rage. Completely obliterates Mortal Combo and in for the kill. Mortal Combo two charges. Yet Shattered Defense is only one buff per Colossus Smash, so having two Mortal Strikes when only one of them is going to be buffed seems a bit counterproductive. In for the kill might make execute phases better, but when your burst windows come around, which is what the last two help with, you want Focus Rage to bring those big Mortal Strikes. Deadly Calm just means when your battle cry is up for 5 seconds, nothing costs rage. It's just free abilities. Now, even though they are free, whatever rage they would cost will still go towards resetting Colossus Smash. Make that clear. Anger Management, when you're spending rage, every 10 rage you spend, brings your cooldowns back quicker. Brings your battle cry back quicker. Pretty good. That's that. Did I miss anything? No. Okay, rotation time. I'm going to do this the same way I do it all the time. I'll slowly build it up for the ground up. So, you want to be Colossus Smashing. Colossus Smashing brings Shattered Defense. There's me Shattered Defense thing. And then Mortal Strike will hit harder. And obviously Mortal Strike, because it costs rage, has a chance to reset this. Now when you can't do anything, and you're high on rage, you can start stacking Focus Rage. You want a Mortal Strike still on cooldown because you're still trying to reset this, but again, see, look, I'm high on rage, I can Focus Rage, yeah? Mortal Strike's back. Colossus Smash, Mortal Strike. Oh, I'm still high on rage, I'm banging in those bad boys. Colossus Smash, Mortal Strike. Oh, still high on rage. Still high on rage. So I can keep resetting this, yeah? Now, this is how Arms used to be played, simple as this. It has been slightly complicated recently, because it was found that... My trinket's broken. Stacking Focus Rage does no damage itself. It's not until the Mortal Strike does that damage materialize. Oof, good word. So, and I mean when it does come along, yeah, that's pretty decent. But it was found that because focus rage itself isn't doing any damage, you are better off changing the rotation. Now the way you change the rotation is when Colossus Smash resets, you still want focus rage to stack up, and usually you can stack it to 2 every time. Because focus rage isn't on the GCD, the global cooldown, you can do 2 things at once. So for argument's sake, you can slam and focus rage at the same time. You don't have to wait. See my GCD? You don't have to wait. There's my little GCD thing. GCD line. GCD line. But you can do 2 things at once when you're talking about focus rage. So when this resets like this, my first global cooldown I can Colossus Smash focus rage, and then my second cooldown I can focus rage Mortal Strike. So I can always get to 2 stacks. But when it doesn't reset, this does no damage. Just hit bang it. Look, it's nothing. So it's better now, after the people got to work thinking about this stuff. It's better now to, between Colossus Smash resets, so I'm just going to Colossus Smash on cooldown. Watch this reset now. Okay. It's better now just to bang slams in until it resets. When it resets, then you do this. You do your double up focus rage, and then that. Then you just bang it in slams again. Focus rage. And these moments is where you'll do your most damage. Now I'm just banging in slams. Trying to reset. Come on, bad boy. If it doesn't reset and Mortal Strike's back, you're still Mortal Strike. And then I'm back to this. Come on. Come on. And so you're still doing damage during this period, you're not just stacking up focus rages. It's not going to reset for me though. You still want to watch your rage, you don't want to go below about 40 in my opinion. Oh yeah, Mortal Strike's back, so I still want to do that. Still slam. Now this is going to come off cooldown, so now I'll do my double stack. Now back to slam spam. That's how it's played now. And you can try both ways if you want to, see which comes out as better damage for you. Whatever you're comfortable at the end of the day is going to do more damage, but this works better for me. So that's that. So slamming when there's nothing else to do. If you're really high on rage, you can throw in a focus rage stack, but don't rage starve yourself. That's going to be your biggest DPS loss. You using too many abilities and going too low on rage, not being able to do anything. That's where you're going to screw yourself, because if you're at really low rage and then bang, Colossus Smash resets, you don't have enough rage, 1 to stack focus rage, and 2 to throw your Mortal Strike. That's where you're going to lose your DPS. The next thing is the burst window. So there's 2 burst windows. The first one is really simple. You're charging in, you're stacking focus rage up as quick as you can, and then you're popping all your cooldowns. And then just spamming everything you can in your window. And then you go back to the conserve phase. Oh, it's like an arcane mage, isn't it? It's resetting. Oops. Colossus Smash. There it is. Let's reset again. So I'm not clicking now, by the way. I'm using my keybinds. Let's reset again. Now focus. Check out my cooldown's about to come back up, so I'll stack this up. We'll go again. Let's reset. I'm high on rage, so I'll stack another focus rage. Oh, look at reset. I'm just gonna slam. Slam. Mortal Strike now. Slam. Oh, reset. Stack the double, throw my Mortal Strike, slam, there it is again, stack the double, Mortal Strike. A bit low on rage. My window's coming back up, so let me just put some of these into it. Didn't reset, so I'll use my artifact ability, and then go into the burst window. If you can fit 3 Colossus Smash Mortal Strikes into your burst window, you'll see some mental damage. It's not always easy to do. It means that Mortal Strike is resetting Colossus Smash 3 times in a row. The first one. And you can only usually get 1 stack focus rages in, but anyway, so that's how I'm doing it. Burst window. Burst window is all have 3 stacks of focus rage before you go into your burst window, so you got to monitor the debuff, the cooldown. and then you're going in hitting everything you can. So mostly what you're doing is you're stacking focus rage with slam. Yeah, I'll just do it again. So here I'm slamming and hitting focus rage at the same time. Yeah, and then I'm mortal striking at the end of it. So stacking focus rage with slam. Right. I have macros which I will show you how to see. Focus rage is coming up, and I'm getting the slam damage. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. The other window is the below 20% one. So you'll generally go into every burst window with a full stack of focus rage. So then I'm mortal striking. Then I'm using my first one on mortal strike, and then I'm stacking focus rage with execute. And then when the window's over, I'll drop my 3-stack mortal strike. Then I'm back to just executing. Whenever this resets, I'll use it and then execute. Use it, then execute. Nothing, just execute by itself. Execute by itself. Colossal Smash. Execute. Execute. If I'm low on rage, I have to wait. You always want a mortal strike. You always want to execute with at least 40 rage, because they're the biggest executes you'll get. See, I'm back now. I should have monitored when this was coming back, and I should be at 3 stacks of focus rage at this point. Then I'll hit that. I'll drop the big one, and then just execute. Execute during this window. Even if Colossus Smash resets, I'm still just banging in executes during the window. Then when I'm out of it, I'm back to just doing this. It's going to reset, execute. And you'll see this reset really quick. See, that's taken, look at all the time it's taken off. 3 seconds per execute. Because I'm spending 40 rage, at least. Execute, now it's at 10 seconds. I'll stack up my focus rage. Here it is. Probably not 8 seconds, 6 seconds is the guide. Drop that, drop my mortal strike, and then stack focus rage and execute together. And then once it's over, bang, bang, and back to executing. That's below 20%. You can obviously argue that it's still worth using Colossus Smash during the Battle Cry window. But if you don't just bang in executes during the Battle Cry window, if you reset a Colossus Smash, that one GCD you've spent for 5 seconds to refresh Colossus Smash, that's done less damage than just executing. Sure, the next execute will do more damage, but if you work out what 4 executes back to back will do compared to what 2 executes plus a Colossus Smash and an execute will do, for me at least, it's better off. You'd be better off just banging in executes rather than spending 1 on a Colossus Smash. And I use the Colossus Smash when I finish the window to put in a 3-stack mortal strike. So here again, I'm stacking it up because it's just come off cooldown. You know what I mean? And then I'm that, and then I'm just banging in focus rage and mortal strike at the same time. And then at the end, I use that mortal strike. That's it. That's how I do mine, and I get pretty good results with it. That's it. This will drag on longer. I could probably talk about playing this all day, but get your mind into it and see what you're doing. Again, whether you choose to just do the old stack and focus rage, just playstyle, you know, just doing this, and then oh shit, it hasn't reset, so I'll bang in some slams. It's up to you. But the way that I'm playing it, which is using slam and only stacking mortals, only stacking focus rage during battle cry, and when I get a tactician reset, that works best for me. My macros, here you go. I have a macro for execute and focus rage, and I have a macro for slam and focus rage. I also have one for Colossus Smash and focus rage. I'm still not convinced if it's better to macro to have Colossus, the ability first then focus rage after it. I don't know what difference that makes, but I do notice that sometimes I have to sort of hit it twice for it to work. like in quick succession, like bang bang, real quick. But yeah, it just means that, so if I use this macro, check it out, Colossus Smash and Focus Rage goes on. If I can't Colossus Smash, it just focuses Rage. And then Mortal Strike. And if I use the Slam one, there you go, Slam and Focus Rage. Colossus Smash and Focus Rage. Yeah, Mortal Strike. Slam and Focus Rage. Slam and Focus Rage. Colossus Smash and Focus Rage. Mortal Strike. Colossus Smash and Focus Rage. Slam and Focus Rage. Slam and Focus Rage. See what I'm saying? That's what the macros do. I'll put a link to a macro video that I did in the description if you want these macros and more discussion about what they do and how they do what they do. But besides that, that's an arms guide. 20 minutes, 21 minutes. That's not too bad. I could talk about this. You could talk about this all day and how to play it. You know, things like using potions before a boss pull as you pull a boss and stuff. For mental damage, Old God is the way to go. Strength flasks, of course. Countless Army. Augment runes, of course. Wow, my bags are full. Trinkets of choice, all of that. You could talk about this for so long. There's an arms compendium thing on MMO Champ, which, you know, top work to the people who made that. You're spreading the news, spreading the word. I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, along with macros as well, everyone should be doing stuff like this. Have a macro set up with all your things that are off the GCD, like Battlecry, Avatar, all that sort of stuff, so you can pop them all in unison. Another good word, unison. And make use of your artifact ability. Warbreaker, if you ever have those mad droughts, you can always use it to force a Colossus Smash. During execute phase, I like to save it for going into Battlecry. So if it's on cooldown, yeah, and I need to go into my execute phase, and I've got like a full stack of that up, and it's like, oh, but I need to burst, I'll use it, and then I'll go into my burst window. You know what I mean? And then I'll try not to use it again until that same moment, because those are the moments, those are the burst moments that you're gonna rock the charts. And if you just use it willy-nilly, it's not gonna happen. And again, remember what your encounter is. Remember the timing of all abilities. There might be more appropriate points in the fight to use it. I gotta cut this. Yeah, like I said, I could talk about this for a long time. So, cheers everyone. Questions fire away. Subscribe, all that jazz. You know, whatever. I'm still just treating this channel for a bit of fun. It's hilarious that I'm getting lots of people subscribing. And, yeah. Google almost owes me $100. Why not? The revenue page on YouTube is hilarious. It shows you how much money you're making. And, you know, these people that get millions and millions and millions of views and make money off this is hilarious. It's so much better to have a job. Have a real job. That's it. Cheers. Enjoy. Thanks, guys.